Hey, good morning everyone, and greetings from El Monte, California. I don't know if you've ever seen this sign before, but it's one of the few remaining drive-ins in Southern California. Actually, I don't think they still show movies here, but they do swap meets still. I remember when I was a teenager, we would come here to the movies pretty often. So I was happy to at least see that the sign is still here and that it's still open. It's a Sunday morning and people are still coming in for the swap meet. So, it's, I guess you take what you can get as far as old historical landmarks. Drive-ins, when I was a kid, were a huge part of growing up. This is where we mostly saw movies, especially after we got our licenses when we were 16, 17 years old, 18. We would go to the drive-ins, and it was really a lot of fun, and they were still thriving back then. That was back in the 60s and 70s, and I think probably in the 80s they started converting some of them to swap meets, or at least on the weekends, and now it looks like mostly, let's see, yeah, it looks like this is just a swap meet now, which is too bad. But when you can watch movies on your iPad, your iPhone, there's not really anywhere and any time. There's not a big appeal anymore for things like drive-ins, other than just maybe the historical appeal. So anyway, I just wanted to stop by and take some pictures, just in case this is in here much longer. It's things are demolished all the time. Old historical buildings, or at least nostalgic places from our past. And I'm talking about mostly baby boomers and seniors. These are real relics from the old days when we were growing up. So this is on Rosemead Boulevard. If you want to see it while it's still here, and maybe it'll be here forever, who knows, but if you want to see it, just get off the 10 freeway on Rosemead, go south El Monte, and you'll see it. It's just maybe a quarter of a mile, half mile south of the 10 freeway. So here's a view of the sign without me in the picture. The Starlite Drive-In was opened in 1950, and I was talking to my mom the other day about it, and she said she used to come here back in the 1950s when she was a teenager, and hadn't really thought about that. I just remember that I used to come here when I was a teenager back in the 60s and 70s, so I guess she was coming here in the 1950s when it was still relatively new. She used to also go up the street a few miles up to the El Monte Drive-In, and I used to go there too, again, a decade or so after she went. It was torn down, I believe about 10, 15 years ago, demolished, the El Monte Drive-In, and I believe now that that's the site of the Home Depot where my brother Robert worked. Remembering that, now I'm curious, and I'll have to ask him if he ever went to the El Monte Drive-In before it became the Home Depot where he worked. I find it kind of sad that so much of Southern California history is being demolished. But on the other hand, it is a lot of fun trying to track down all of these old landmarks and vlog about them while they're still here and before they're gone forever. So anyway, I can't think of a better way to start my Sunday morning than visiting an old friend from the 1960s and 70s. It's kind of cool, but at least the sign is still here, and there's still looks like actually the movie screens. I think they turned it into maybe a 2 or a 4 movie screen venue. You can kind of see them behind there. They look a little bit small, so I'm not sure if the full screens are there, or if just when they turned them into maybe 4. A lot of them did that too. They took the one big movie screen and then they kind of reconfigured so they could get more in, and they would have 4 movies playing. I don't think I ever went when they did that, but I know they did that with a lot of these. So anyway, just wanted to stop by and say hi to this old friend, and I really love this old sign too. It's really cool. So hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching as always, and hope you'll join me on my next vlogging adventure